Hello, everybody. Bill Port and SoCal Saber here. What have you been doing this week? Well, as I do a lot of things, but what I do is listen to music. Today is Saturday, so what did I listen to this week from my vinyl album collections and my CD collections? And what did I add to the collections? Let's go down there and let's go start taking a look at them. But before we do, go down there and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Help the channel grow. Put some comments down there. What do you think about these albums and so forth? Anyway, got the week started off with a 1973 album by titled Wild Tales by Graham Nash. It was an addition to the collection. Picked up on Whatnot. The only solo thing I have in the collection by Graham, all his contributions in, what do you call it, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Not Stills. Yeah, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Got a newspaper insert here. Pretty cool. Good shape for still this old. 73, 27, 52 years old. This is a nice. I always like when that stuff comes in the albums, so forth. And then we got a insert with call it lyrics on it. Got a cut on the side. This has a cut on the side also. This normally means that went back to the distributor, and after a while, the distributor wanted to get rid of it, so he cut it, sent it back out for a discount. What I think I don't know who am I? Okay. This was the second solo album by Graham. In the U.S., it peaked at number 34 in the Billboard chart. And even though it was 34, Nash blamed its failure, chart higher, lack of support, and promotion by Atlantic Records. Somebody, huh? 34, blaming somebody. On your press. After this album, a little bit later, after the breakup of CS and Y, Graham Nash left Atlantic. Well, overall, I picked it up because I do like the Crosby, Stills and Nash and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young stuff. I do like that, so I wanted to get some because I've already got some David Crosby in. Of course, I have Neil Young in. I wanted to get some solo work in by the other artists, but I wasn't real happy with the songs. I don't know. I did at number 34. I don't know if I would have rated that high or not. But so I'm only going to give it a fair plus as far as the music goes, in my opinion. People might love it. If you disagree with me, please put it in the comments. That was Wild Tales by Graham Nash in 1973 to start. Now this next one, this is a 2016 reissue of a 1966 album. And it is Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, one that was on the thumbnail. Counting this, I have 2 LPs by the Beach Boys in my collections. And I have the other one, and I like the other one, and I've thought for a long time, well, maybe I want to add some more Beach Boys into my collection, but I don't know which ones. And then, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago, I was watching a couple of reviews by some guys, I guess you could call them more audiophiles over in Europe. One of the guys said, hey, if you're ever looking to get some of the Beach Boys, and do this one. This is just a fantastic album. It was their 11th studio album. And that's why I went for it. and it was initially what am I talking about? Initially promoted as the most progressive pop album ever. You can go up on Wikipedia and find all kinds of great stuff about this. Now, you will find it in the top 25 most likely greatest hits albums ever. Uh, and it is Pet Sounds is recognized for its ambitious production, sophisticated harmonic structures, and coming of age themes. It is widely regarded as among the greatest and most influential albums in music history. Wow, I said, and I didn't know all of that stuff. Well, after I bought it, after I listened to it, when I listened to it, oh my goodness, I really like this. That guy was right to get this in the collection. Then I found out all of that extra stuff about it. Makes me even happier. This reissue was on a 180 gram vial. I believe the original one, I'm not positive, I believe the original release came out in mono. This reissue was done in stereo. As compared to the first one album that I have in there, this one will probably, if I wanted to listen to more Beach Boys right now, I would probably listen to this. See if I can remember. Like one of the big hits that opened up is "Wouldn't It Be Nice?" You Still Believe in Me, and then on side two, there's God Only Knows. Good stuff. Loop John B. So some of their famous hits around here too. So that was the 2016 reissue of the 1966 album Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. Great addition to the great edition. Bought that one out at a Wisecrack Records. I was out there, I don't know, 2 months ago. I was looking through the new stuff, the new arrivals. That came across it, and it was really a decent price. And I went, I'm going to get this. Remember what? And I want to get wanted it. I'm going to get it. That I did. Okay, the next thing we got going here is a 1976 album by John Mayall. You guys probably remember John Mayall as John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. For a while. The only solo stuff I have by him, I do have John Mayall and the Blues Breakers material inside the Eric Clapton box set. He was a singer, guitarist, and harmonica player and keyboardist. He had a career that spanned nearly 7 decades, remaining an active musician until his death at age 90. Oh. John Mayall has been often referred to as the godfather of the British blues. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the musical influence category in 2020. Nice addition. Bluesy. I really like the music on it. So this is like G plus. Pet Shops is like excellent. Pet Sounds is like excellent. Good stuff. And they come in ABC record. Oh. Here. Oh, what it's really tough sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to believe. This says gold stamp don't promo, not for sale, but nothing on the label about that. Normally there's something on the label when it's for sale also, but I didn't see nothing on the label. It's not for sale or promo. Oh, good stuff. Nice addition to the collection. Got that through Whatnot also. So now the next one I got, a 2021 reissue 1980 album by Black Sabbath. No, last year I picked up some. This has been sitting waiting for me to play it and get it in collection for a while. I bought this brand new. I forget where I bought it from. Amazon, whatnot, or I mean not whatnot. What do you call it? Record stores or where I got it from. I don't remember. In group, there's the hype sticker. I couldn't get it off of the shrink, so I cut it and I'll slip it. I slide it inside the other thing. I like keeping the hype sticker. This one says Geezer Butler, Ronnie James Dio, Tony Iommi, and Bill Ward. The classic 1980 album remastered includes a bonus LP of rarities and live version. There it is. Heaven and Hell. Counting the box set that I have 11 LPs in my collection by Black Sabbath. The album was a commercial success, particularly in the United States, where it reached number 28 on the Billboard 200, was certified platinum for 1 million sales. This was prior to this one was when Ozzy left. Whether he left or whether he was fired, that's open debate. He left, and so Tony Iommi was wondering, what am I going to do with this group? So we're going to find another group, find another lead singer. So I guess he joined up then with Ronnie James Dio, who was the lead singer in Rainbow. And they met a couple times and they were talking and everything, and they discussed this thing. So Ronnie then decided to come over to Black Sabbath and be the lead singer in this albums that he put out with Black Sabbath. And let me tell you, this is really good. This is really good. This is excellent. Trying to think of, let me take a look here. Okay, on side 4, live tracks recorded at Hartford, and they had extended versions of 2 songs. Really, really rocked house. Yeah, got the Angels smoking and playing cards. Heaven and Hell. Put in the bad. I smoked for many, many years, and I don't consider anybody to. 97. All of the nasty things I had done in my life, I was habit I'd. So that was 1980 album Heaven and Hell, reissued by Black Sabbath, reissued in 2021. Ronnie James Dio, known a lot as one of the greatest hard rock, heavy metal vocalists going around. So that was really good, a great addition to the collection. So we're having a really good week. About time we're at the point of the week though, we're going to be going to the CDs. Well, first one we're at number 106. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Fire Inside. Counting this, I have 6 LPs and 7 CDs in my collection by Bob Seger. Not all Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, but some of them, all of Bob Seger. So I guess that must tell you that I have liked Bob Seger a long time. Saw him live and done at the Forum in LA, station at George Air Force Base. That was the early 80s. So there's credited it to the Silver Bullet Band on this. They didn't do a whole lot in there. A lot of them was credited to. Much of the album was guest and session musicians with limited contributions from the Silver Bullet Band. Among the guest artists on the album are Joe Walsh, Bruce Hornsby, Roy Bittan, Stephen Lukather, Don Was, Wendy Watchett, Rick Vito, Mike Campbell, Patti Smith, Lisa Germano, Kenny Aronoff. A lot of received a, a lot of mixed reviews, but most of them were kind of critical of it. So one guy put it was just okay. My tops, but it did reach, even though it was critical, it peaked at number 7 in the Billboard U.S. charts. So if it was critical and it peaked at that high, it must mean that an audience like me, who really like Bob Seger, went out and bought it. Didn't matter what the quality was, that we bought it. Glad to have contributed. But as I listened to it again, it was just okay. Not in my top Seger productions. My favorite song on this album is New Coat of Paint, which is a Tom Waits cover. You guys, some of them watching me, you guys know that I like Tom Waits. He did another one by Tom Waits in here, but I didn't like it quite as much. I think it was called Blind Love. Let me show you the CD. Check nice production on the CD. There we are with the 1991 album, The Fire Inside, Bob Seger and the Bullet Band. Pretty good. It was okay. I can't say pretty good. I just say okay. Give it a rating in there. Then the next one we're going to is the number 107, 1991 album by Dire Straits, On Every Street. Counting this one, I have 2 LPs and 3 CDs in the collection by Dire Straits. That doesn't count any Mark Knopfler stuff. This was the 6th and final studio album by the British rock band. Few really good songs on it. One of them, in particular, that opens up the album is "Calling Elvis." I really like that song. I like that a lot. Okay. Then this was the follow-up to the band's massively successful album, "Brothers in Arms." On Every Street reached the top in the UK albums chart, and then in 1996 and broke up. I don't know what Mark Knopfler has done since that as a solo artist. Most people, I should all know. Now, as for me, I was disappointed in this also. I have Brothers in Arms, which is really so. No, I can't. I can't compare them to each other because they're like night and day as far as the quality of the material and the playing of the instrument. I thought that this one was just steady. No, nothing really great. Calling Elvis is a really good song, but the instrumentation was just steady. Nothing great in it also. So there we have the 1991 album, On Every Street by Dire Straits. Last album. Okay, now this morning, you guys know I always listen to the next album in the collection on Saturday mornings while I have my coffee. This one, number 70 in the album collection, is "Thunder in My Heart" by Leo Sayer. I have 5 LPs in my collection by Leo, so I must have liked them. I think it was because of the disco era that like the disco. I was a club hound. This was his 5th album. And when it started, because I didn't remember when I put it on the turntable, when it started today, it started with the song "Thunder in My Heart." And it kind of surprised me a little bit because I was expecting some of the soft stuff that he does and some of the disco stuff. but this one was rock. And this one was rock. And I said, well, maybe this whole album's going to be rock. But, you know, when I looked at when it's classified as rock and pop, and then it says disco. So after the first rock song, it kind of settled down. It leaned to a somewhat more disco style. Funny, in 2006, they say how the disco was. Thunder in My Heart, a remix and dance version was released. And it reached #1 in the UK, #16 in Australia, along with follow-up single Easy to Love. The song reached top 40 in the US and Canada. I enjoyed this. Probably give it a good. If you ask me what I gave it, if you ask me a month from now what I give it, I'd have to try to go look it up because I don't record the actual ratings I give. So this was the 1977 LP. This is 48 years old, and it's really in good shape. Thunder in My Heart, Leo Sayer, up the week. All right, as usual, I'll let you know which two that I picked as my favorites of the week. I can tell by my reviews, I liked most of them, almost all of them. But the first one that I've got to go with Pet Sounds by the Beach. I was so happy, and I liked that so much that it had to be one of the two I picked. The other one had to be Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. Double LP, really good stuff. Ronnie James Dio. So, would you have picked either one of them? If not, which one would you have picked if you were had to make a selection of these ones? Let me know. Always like to hear from you. So, Cal Saber saying, take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other. Be safe.